This program is brought to you by Bobway Media, a work of the Chipman Road Church of Christ in Lee's Summit, Missouri, and under the oversight of the elders of the Chipman Road Church of Christ. We thank you for listening.
Hello, ladies. It's good to be with you again. This is the second part of our podcast about those of strength, faith, and courage as we talk about women of God who have shown us the examples in the past of how we need to be strong today, especially since none of us have ever really been in the circumstances that they've been in. We've been in similar ones, but there's no way on heaven that we could have ever been in the positions these ladies have been. So we'll be facing our own trials and tribulations as we try to deal with the problems we have in our lives of trying to emulate those of old. So I'd like for us to look at Hannah for just a little bit. The faith that Hannah had was amazing. She trusted in the Lord and was so full of faith in Him that everything hinged upon what she would say, what she would pray, what she expected, because she truly believed. Hannah trusted in the Lord, and we can read of her plight in 1 Samuel. She was one of the two wives of Elkanah. Now, Elkanah's love for Hannah was amazing. He was crazy in love with her. In verse 6, we can see that the Lord had shut up her womb. She was barren, and it broke her heart. She wanted a son so badly. She wanted to give her husband a son. She wanted a son, and yet she was unable to bear children. Year after year, she went up to the temple to tithe. And to make matters worse, Peninnah, his other wife, had several children, and she provoked Hannah something terrible, tormented her. Hannah's greatest desire was to have a son, so much so that she cried and prayed fervently to God and told Him that if He blessed her with a son, that she would give him to the Lord, and that no razor would ever come upon his head. We can read this in 1 Samuel 1:11. Eli, the priest at the temple, told her that she should go in peace, that the Lord would grant her petition. Verse 17 of 1 Samuel 1. Hannah conceived and gave birth to a baby boy, and she named him Samuel. And after he was weaned, good to her word, she took little Samuel to the temple, along with her offerings, and presented him to Eli, saying, For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord as long as he liveth. He shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. 1 Samuel 1:27 through 28. Honestly, ladies, I don't know if I could do that. Do you? That would be so very hard. But Hannah's faith was remarkable and one to be desired. She had such trust and faith in the Lord, and her son grew up to be a great prophet of God. What a blessing to all. I want that kind of faith. I also want courage to go along with it. I can just imagine doing something like this and the heartache it would cause me. But yet I would know inside my heart and my mind that he was in the Lord's hands. She had to be an amazing woman to be able to do that. I want the courage of Rahab, who hid the spies of Israel. And we can read about that in Joshua chapter 2. She hid those spies even knowing that if the king found out, that she would be killed. But she had heard of the God of Israel and the mighty works He had done in Egypt. Joshua 2:9 through 11. So she bargained with them. She said she would hide them if they would save her and her family when they came to conquer the city of Jericho. They could have killed her. She didn't really know how they would respond, but she was bold and courageous, and they kept their word. Thanks to a courageous woman, she and her family were spared their lives. We later see that Rahab became the wife of Salmon, and he is in the genealogy of our Lord, Matthew 1:5, and also listed in those of faith in Hebrews 11:31. I believe that we can see that when God's women stand strong for Him, when they are faithful and courageous, they are blessed beyond measure. We often do not see our blessings until afterward. It may even be some time before we're able to recognize them, and it may be after we leave this world, but they will come. Our job is to be strong. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might, Ephesians 6:10. And we must be faithful. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life, Revelation 2:10b. That's what we all are striving for, isn't it? That crown of life. And don't forget, just like we said before, we're going to have to be courageous. Be of good courage, and He shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. Psalm 31:24. Ladies, we've got this. We can do it because we are daughters of God, and we can find that strength and courage and faith that He has promised us if we follow His will. And I hope that you've profited from this brief little study on a few women, and I hope that you'll take it to heart and study it out further and read those chapters and follow up, and I hope it will be encouraging to you. And I thank you for listening.
We hope you have enjoyed today's program. You can find out more about Bob Wade Media by visiting our website at bobwademedia.org, as well as finding us on social media. And as always, to God be the glory.